talking left, talking right, talking far into the night, splitting hair, splitting up, splitting off.
Less and more, rich and poor, what to address, what to ignore. What are we really fighting for?
Persuade, coerce,
Convene, disperse,
accept or curse,
deny, confess,
condemn or bless.
who lives, who dies,
My truth, your lies.
bring in, shout out, what's that all about?
Who gives out retribution and grace?
What to keep, what to spend, what to give and what to lend.
Some have none, some have a lot. Can we learn to share the things we've got?
I see us fighting over what we believe, how to love and how to pray.
We begin with hope and resolve and dreams, and end up fighting over what we believe.
I see us fighting over what we believe, leaving spirits poor and lonely. I want to use my fighting spirit in a different way, instead of fighting over what we believe. I want to wrestle with the angels till the light of dawn. I struggle with my need for pride. I want to take on my tendency to turn my head and grapple with why it feels so hard to gently lay our differences aside.
Day, night, wrong, right, now and inside.
We all believe in justice.
Let's talk about what that looks like.
We believe in compassion.
Let's look at what that really means.
We believe in the holy work of listening to every voice.
Every voice.
Let's not
Bring in, shout out, what's that all about?
Who gives out retribution and grace? What to keep, what to spend, what to give and what to lend. Who's my neighbor? Who's my friend?
Let's start our conversation instead of fighting over what we believe. It wears us down and wears us out. We have eyes to see, we have ears to hear, we have hands that long to give and receive. I see us fighting over what we believe, leaving spirits poor and lonely. I want to use my fighting spirit in a different way, instead of fighting over what we believe.
I'm tired of fighting over what we believe.
Don't want no more of fighting over what we believe.
Just say no to fighting over what we believe.
Nothing good can come from fighting over what we believe.
Divide, unite, exclude, invite, day, night, wrong, right, no, and inside.
We all believe in justice.
Let's talk about what that looks like.
of sacred flames. The first is a remembrance candle for the Indigenous peoples who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. We remember that underneath us is the unceded land of several Indigenous peoples, the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, and the Cupeño. We light this sacred flame in their remembrance and in recognition of their ongoing struggle for freedom and dignity. Our second sacred flame is our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We are blessed with this space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting words are Honoring Our Common Connection by Adam Slate. We gather this morning as one community, a community united by common ideals, love, justice, diversity, freedom, mutual care, equity. Yet look around. Look at the faces of those around you. Each face represents an individual, every one of us with our own story, needs, strengths, and faults. We light our chalice today, honoring our common connection and also the uniqueness that lives within each of us. It is said that shared joy is a double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. On the first Sunday of each month, we share the joys and concerns that we have received from you and which you have collected throughout the month. Do we have any joys and concerns which were given to us? Bill? All right then. If there's anyone here in the sanctuary who would like to speak their joy or concern, please raise your hand and we will invite you up to speak at this microphone. If there's anyone online who would like to share a joy or concern, please raise your hand on Zoom. Bill?
First of all, as the time for her memorial gets closer, just warm thoughts about knowing Kate Bowery over all these years. For those of you who never met her, she was an amazing woman and the kind of person that makes you feel like you're a better human just for knowing them. So that's a joy and a concern and a great irritation that the Creator decided to call her home. I'm still going to sit there and say that because we are beings of wit, memory, and people who've remembered what is written, of all the changes that we're going to face and all of the groups that we want to keep going and during these times are being edited out, this is to our memory. Odin himself had thought and memory as those two pet ravens that were always with him. And memory is going to help us remember what we did right. Thought's going to help us to improve it. And we're going to get through this. And we're going to remember what we did right. We're going to improve it on what did wrong. And even if I can't see a pleasant ending to this right now, it's highly irritating to sit there and think of the amount of cred that we're going to have to do over again. Our ancestors went through some hell to get here. Middle Passage, walk across the Sonora Desert, the potato famine. Never try to out-tough your ancestors, but with what they had given us, with the stuff that they went through to make the American dream, our part will be doable. Highly irritating, but doable. And we'll match it.
Thank you, Bill. Is there anyone else who would like to come up to the microphone? Alec? Oh, and then Walt?
Good morning, I'm Alec. I have some joys and some half joy, half concerns to share. First, I have a great joy that a couple of weeks ago I got to go back to UU summer camp. It's the same summer camp I've been going to for over 20 years since my parents brought me there as a little kid. And I'm so happy every year that I get to go. And a few years ago, we found out surprisingly that we were not going to be able to host the summer camp at the same location and did not have a new location set up for where we might take our camp. And that was pretty shocking to hear. And we managed to go back to, for just this 1 year, back to the place where we've been hosting the camp for about the last decade. And so it was really nice to be able to go back there one more time, knowing that it was the last time. Whereas last time it felt like we didn't really get to say goodbye properly. Speaking of saying goodbye, my other joy/concern is that a few weeks ago, about a week ago, my grandfather, who's been suffering from late-stage dementia for some time in a care home, passed away. And this was not a big surprise to us. And he's been struggling for a long time. And so there is, and that's why this is also a joy, because he would have hated, back when he was himself, he would have hated the state that he was being kept in and how much money we were spending on him. My mom was super, always very preoccupied with being concerned with him and not being able to go on vacations for concern that he would pass away while she was gone. And so I think it's a big relief off of her as well.
Walt, you're up next.
I just wanted to mention as you probably all know, the ongoing our twin wars, and especially the people now starving to death in the Gaza Strip, and how our dollars go over to Israel, and of course the Ukraine war. I'm sure you're tracking that, but I just feel that in a liberal church it should always be mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, Walt.
I have some joys to share. As some of you may know, one of the benefits of being trans is you can pick a new name anytime you want. So, my new name, after much prayer and consideration, and thanks to all your guys' love, is Turquoise. Tanya is fine, Jonathan's fine, Beliski's fine, but Turquoise is preferred.
Thank you, Turquoise. Thank you, Turquoise, and congratulations. Is there anyone else who would like to come up?
Excuse me. So my name is Maurke, and I'm gonna just go based off the title here. So any Puerto Ricans in the audience? I'm just curious, because I'm going to Puerto Rico. It's like It was my girlfriend's dream to go, and I finally made it happen. So I'm super excited to make that happen for her. So concern, I'm just gonna just say it because I'm first time here. But grateful for the land acknowledgement, but you're missing two tribal groups, the Serranos and the Tongva. As someone who speaks Serrano and Koya, for those two groups not to be here, and for Capeño, whose territory wasn't even around here, it kind of is concerning that, yeah, they're indigenous to the area, but not close enough to Riverside. But yeah, so Achima Hakupo'ai, thank you.
Thank you. And you said the Serrano and the Tongva? Thank you. We've been going off information that we've been given, and we will incorporate that. Thank you very much.
It's about a half word.
One more, and then you can come up.
Theoretically, this should be brief. Those of you who know me, I apologize. There's something I've been following on YouTube that's been a interesting and challenging look at how we make myths, or if you will, dreams. And it takes a look at the Old Norse gods, and I'm pagan. And it's a strong and difficult look as when do we add a myth to someone that we've never met? What do we add? What do we not add? I'll never meet the guys who are so-called running the show over at Washington. What shall I add? What shall I not add? But what shall I add? What shall I not add? The structures for how we treat each other aren't even confined to how we treat each other in the now, although that's probably the most important. But what was and what will be and how we treat them is going to be also a concern in these coming years.
Thank you, Bill.
I know that this is the first time I've been here. And this comes out of me because I was concerned about the compassion in the world. And I have a Peru family that was living with me when I was back home taking care of my mom with dementia. And they moved in because I couldn't make it in the world by myself. And they work at a dairy, and they're from Peru. And because of the hate and everything going on, I told them they should leave and go back home because I was worried about them. This compassion is so needed in the world, and thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else who would like to come up and share their joys or concerns? Is there anyone online? Then with that, we place a stone in our water chalice to represent the joys and concerns we have shared with our church community, and in recognition of those we hold close and have not shared. May we remember those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence in our hearts.
Smooth, mixed, hard to quantify. This stone, our lives.
Our hymn now is number 1064, Blue Boat Home, from the Teal Hymnal. Please feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port I have known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the light of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, and the great winds urging me on. Read the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port I have known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Historical Church. This can be accomplished several ways. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown on the screen here. In addition to the weekly lost my space, which is shown here. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is shown here, as well as on the church website and in the newsletter. Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater grocery cards, which we will have in church each Sunday. You get the full value, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Robert Brown in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity. To those who give of their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. To all of you who have joined us here today, thank you for the gift of your presence. Will our ushers now please come forward to receive the collection? A tote bag will also come around to collect food and hygiene items for those in our local community. Our next hymn is number 402, From You I Receive, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 402, From You I Receive. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Two more times. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Our meditation today is the poem I Dreamed in a Dream by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was an American poet, journalist, and essayist during the American resistance period of the 1800s. His best-known work is the collection of personal poems, Leaves of Grass. Whitman incorporated both transcendentalism and realism in his writings and is often called the father of free verse. We invite you to take a moment to sit back, relax, and if you wish, gently close your eyes. I dreamed in a dream. I saw a city invincible to the attacks of the whole of the rest of the earth. I dreamed that was the new city of friends. Nothing was greater there than the quality of robust love. It led the rest. It was seen every hour in the actions of the men of that city and in their looks and words. Now let us pause for a moment of silence and reflection. And now, I would like to welcome up to the pulpit Myrie Moores and the congregation, speaking to us on Reflections on the American Dream.
Good morning. So today is going to be slightly different than I've witnessed myself. But last week's sermon, Reimagining the American Dream, explored the theme of what it means to live in a country founded on opportunity that is promised, but is not always equally manifested. The author summarized that while we live in a nation of plenty, our abundance is not always available to those who would need it most. Wealth is unequally distributed, but that does not stop dreamers from idealizing that America could become like the city upon a hill that is promised to those who love one another purely and follow that as their guiding light. Thank you. Written in 2015, it discussed the economy as a house of cards, and today we can see that it looks like, to the average resident at least, that someone has already walked by or turned on the fan without care, so that the cards have been blown about in our city shows great gaps in its architecture. However, it does not end with this fact. It ends with hope. Hope that if we were to change our mindset from what the world can offer us to what we can offer to the world, we might still find a way to get a little closer to building a community worth calling home. My family are first and second generation immigrants. When my mother's family immigrated from London following World War II and arrived at Ellis Island in New York, they did not know where they would settle. They lived there for a few years, then traveled to California, as a lot of new immigrants did, trying to find a place to start over and hopefully find a dream worth living. My grandmother worked as a jewelry salesperson at Robinson's May, now it's known as Macy's, similar to her job in the UK selling shoes, while my grandfather kept up his trade from the UK as a barber with his own salon in a well-known hotel. For many years, they lived frugally, managing to save enough to buy a home in Santa Monica, a car, adopt 3 children, and have 1 biologically, achieving almost everything a person would have dreamed of back then. My grandmother even managed to save enough to go on many vacations during her retirement, invested in her community, and started a small business with her second husband, another person who immigrated here from Czechoslovakia after being liberated following World War II. My father immigrated to Los Angeles in the 1970s, and after being discharged from the British Air Force, he also came for opportunities, and while I am unsure what his initial dream was, he did meet and marry my mother, had 3 children with her, and contributed to his community, working to build his dream when he became an EMT, a police officer, a trash collector, a volunteer firefighter, and finally a nurse before he passed away too soon. My American family has fractured since then, and while my siblings and mother are geographically close, relationally we are not. My American dream is partially, hopefully, someday being able to say that this has changed, but that is in progress. I would now like to invite some members of our congregation to share what the American dream means to them.
Hi everyone, I'm Sue. It's my 4th time here. I wrote some things because I was asked to, and I said, are you sure you want me to speak about this? Maybe a more tenured member of the church? But I did write some things, and I started to sound like a politician. So I'm not going to, Medicare for all. So I'm not going to read what I wrote. But I'll share one story and then say some words that I've heard here that I think represent what could be an American dream. I grew up on the East Coast and in the New York area, New Jersey. My family's there now. But I never went to the Statue of Liberty until maybe, I think it's been about 8 years ago. It's a 3-hour wait. You're waiting in line outside with, I don't mean to be negative, but people sound angry and pissed about the line, and there's a lot of trash on the ground. So they're eating snacks and and I thought to myself, for all of the people visiting the United States, I'm like, wow, if this is what we are, we're not really looking good to people traveling. Because to me, it was worth waiting 3 hours to go there. It's incredible. It's just, I'm short, but looking up. And we couldn't, I think you could go inside, but only one area because of the construction they were doing. But it's an incredible thing that is there. So the words I want to share, well, 2 more things I'll share. My American dream would mean my niece and her girlfriend could be on the streets anywhere in the country and hold hands without worrying. It would mean that my black stepson would not have to be worried about being pulled over and had to have that talk with his father, who I know has been pulled over multiple times for something that really isn't like a brake light. But the words I've heard at this church for this morning, if I can remember them: truth, justice, freedom. I'm missing one. Peace.
Liberty and justice
Yeah,
for
liberty
all.
and justice, thank you. Peace and equity for everyone. Everyone should have water. I don't think they do still in Flint, Michigan. Yeah. So the bare necessities would be a given. And you wouldn't have to worry about where the money's coming from, because I think last week's talk was really about the economics. We wouldn't have words like capitalism, imperialism, colonialism. Maybe we wouldn't know what those words were or meant, because they wouldn't exist in an American dream. So it's sort of what I wish. There's just, I couldn't come up to share concerns because I'm overwhelmed, including the people in Gaza. Very concerned, and very concerned here with the ICE raids. The concerns, so thank you for also people sharing your joys, because we can't get up in the morning if we don't feel joy. So continue to feel joy. Everyone should have joy. That's my American dream.
Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Gibson. Today's actually only my second time here, but I'm very excited to be here. At first, I was told to write a short paragraph, and then I was later told that I'd have 3 to 5 minutes. So my paragraph isn't going to cover everything, but I'll just go off the heart after I read it. But to me, the American dream is a dream shared by people all over the world. It is a dream that there is a country to travel to where you will be welcomed and you can earn your freedom. It's a dream that it's possible to escape any circumstance and live a better life. It's a dream that there is a country without a king, where people decide the laws for themselves. The American dream is the Enlightenment idea that a better new world is possible. Ever since I was a kid, people always dictate the American dream to you. You ask what it is, and most adults, at least in my life, would basically say that it means you can get rich or that you have freedom. And that always seemed so vague to me because I felt like there was nothing I could do here that I wouldn't be able to do in France or Japan. I thought, how much more freedom do we really have when there's democracies all over the world? But as I've gotten older, and I've learned more history, I see that it used to be everybody was born a have or a have-not, and most people were born a peasant. You didn't have any land, no property, and that was your lot in life. There was nothing you could do about it. There was no class mobility of any kind. And people had been persecuted and marginalized for millennia, and those people were always pushed to the margins until they heard of a new world where they all immigrated together to escape those oppressions. And those are some of the people who founded this nation. And now, to me, the American dream is the idea that there's a nation somewhere in the world where everybody is equal, where anybody can have opportunity, and nobody is cast aside. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm Gibson's partner. It's also my second time here. I feel like this is a question that you get asked when you're very young, like they have you fill out for your homework in school, and I feel like he was saying, like your head gets filled with images of like white picket fences and having a family, and like the speaker had said last Sunday, we deserve and we're capable of more than just that. I do feel like the American dream is a dream of liberation. It's a dream of being free and being able to do anything with your own two hands. It's a dream that is not just for Americans, but it's for the whole world to think of all that's possible in America. It is meant to be a melting pot of all different cultures to come together and to be neighbors. It's somewhere to go when the oppression of your own country gets to be too much to bear. I do believe we have strayed from this dream more and more. It feels like many Americans have more individual dreams rather than wanting what's best for the collective. And it feels like many Americans feel like you're stepping on their dreams if you do want what's best for the less fortunate or for a more free life for everyone. It's crucial for all of us to be lifting up others along the way if we want this American dream to stay alive. And it's also important to note that we need to take action to make these dreams come to life. Many a person have come to America only to continue to be oppressed or to be remain poor due to the powers at large. We need to put effort into making resources available for everyone. Thank you so much.
It's going to be hard to follow Sue, Gibson, and Lindsay. They're really good, all of them. So, but I wrote something up. Hopefully it's not too long. Actually, do you mind if I come up here?
Do you need to use
That is smaller mic. I need to be able to put this down a little bit.
You could just sit in there.
Okay. At risk of a repeat of last week, here is Emma Lazarus's sonnet, The New Colossus. It is inscribed on a plaque on the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty monument. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed Sunset Gate shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name Mother of Exiles. From her beacon band glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Quote, "Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp," cries she with silent lips. Sorry, you know the rest. "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me, I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Freedom for the, thank you, freedom for the underdog, that is the United States. Not much light in here. Once egalitarian, since most all were subsistence farmers, then came the industrial age, creating the homegrown wealthy caste. So you all know this, but the current specifics are Roe v. Wade, LGBTQ, affirmative action, equal pay, women moving into all upper positions like doctoring, lawyering, governor and legislative positions, and lastly, but not yet, thank you, not yet but coming, the presidency of the United States. If Germany did it with Merkel, England with May, and currently Mexico's Pardo, and Italy's Prime Minister Meloni, then the land of the most free, the US, should be able to do as well. Besides granting the most in personal freedom, there is the technical, where we should reign supreme. We placed men on the moon, planting a flag, and taking dirt samples. Another mission saw men driving around in an expensive dune buggy, that's what it looked like to me, taking more samples. We sent 2 rockets, Voyager 1 and 2, at the time when the planets configured to sling shot both probes, gaining great knowledge of the solar system. We developed one of the COVID vaccines, Moderna, in record time in labs in the eastern part of the United States. SpaceX's The Big Heavy is being groomed for a massive liftoff with much cargo for the moon or even Mars. Routine launches of Earth-orbiting satellites cost just 1/10 compared to the previous NASA launches due to the solid fuel booster rockets flying back to the launch pad for reuse. But you say, how about those now dying of starvation in the Gaza Strip? Are we not feeding the Netanyahu quest to annex both the Gaza Strip and the West Bank? Is not the current president and several of the wealthiest men in the country getting to destroy the governmental regulations that impede their further monetary growth? And how about the Ukraine war? The answer? Modeled after the Freedom Riders, King Selma March, or the anti-Vietnam War moratorium gatherings each month. It is up to you and I to send money, to protest, and now to email our governmental representatives. What you choose to do and how much political heat you can tolerate will determine your effectiveness. But America is the land of personal freedom, intellectual wisdom, and technical innovation. We can improve our lives as well as we help the world's, and I put this intentionally in this order, the world's animals, when animals are slaughtered for their tusks, so I put animals first. The ecosystem, because we keep putting off our day of reckoning with global warming, and then, and the people of the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ren, for the light.
You're welcome.
I would just like to, I apologize for my voice. I was cured of cancer by carrot juice after this damage was done to my throat with radiation cancer therapy, which failed to impact the cancer, but impacts my ability to swallow, to sing, and now to talk as well. I was told the radiation effects would disappear in about a week. That was 20 years ago, and they still haven't peaked. But I wanted to supplement what I said last week and what Walter just said, referring to the presidency. The book I just finished last night, I was reading it last week. It's by Adam Schiff, who is in charge of the impeachment process, #1 against Donald Trump in his previous 45th incarnation of the president. Adam Schiff added that in a clarification to me that the charges had to do with privatization of the Commonwealth and application of that privatized national wealth, which belongs to the American people, not to either party. But once privatized, becomes the way to lock down the government for future elections.
Thank you, Rao. Bill?
I'd say my 2 cents worth, but inflation is already hitting us. When you look at the American dream, I think most of us have given up on, the mansions and the infinity pools and that lot. I think that the things that we strive for the most these days are time and the utilization of it to not be enslaved by what we do, but to find a certain joy in it, or more than a certain joy. And I think that I know that on a basketball team I was on at high school, actually just managed, but he said, big one, especially if you're slower, is control of tempo. You control the tempo of your life, good things happen. You let somebody else grabs that tempo away from you, less good things happen. So there's time, and there's also knowing where the finish line is. They've done studies that say after 75K a year, you're not measurably happier than, you're happy. You've got most of the basic stuff covered. But it's not like you'll be that much happier if you had 75 million. You get about 75K, you hope. And then after that, you say, okay, they can bury me. I can afford a crate full of Hot Pockets once in a while, and the kids are going to school. Groovy. But when the money is high and you're working too hard for it, and, what good is your mansion if you never get a chance to say hi to the people you love? And I think that for at least a generation or two, we're going to have some people who are really smart about time. And the problem is that they're going to try and sell us a big, fancy, if you want to work, you got to work for the big one. If you guys can if you younger people can hold the line on time, if you can control time and tempo in your lives, then that peace and that love that we're all sort of striving for just as God's children, I think it's doable still. Now it's a long road to get them there, but I think there's a way, and I think it's doable, and I think we can do it.
Thank you, Bill. Turquoise?
Well, I wasn't here for the last week, but I can react to the reactions. So, American Dream. When I was growing up, the American Dream was not allowed to be attained by me or anyone in my family because we were Christians and we weren't American, we weren't Chinese, we weren't Jewish, we were Christian. To this day, I have no idea what that means. But my American dream now, be able to afford rent, occasionally afford a doctor's visit, see my son 3 times a week, and afford rides to the bar. Low standards, but thanks, America.
Thank you, Turquoise. Would anyone else like to come up and share their thoughts on the American dream? Come on up to the microphone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel, my first time here. I just wanted to say I was really blessed by everything you all said, and it made me think of something. I had a professor in undergrad who was Japanese American. He had actually immigrated and was a naturalized citizen, so he said, I've become an American. It was an interesting way of putting that. But he said, I think the strength of the United States isn't so much that we're better or we're perfect, but it's that we have a vision, and when we fail to meet it, we try to fix that we actually try to repair our mistakes and get better. And I always found that very inspiring, and it just, everything that you guys were saying made me think about that. Like, having a dream is a good thing, because it means you're striving for something that you're not already doing. So that's my hope, is that we can do that together in a lot of ways. Thanks.
Thank you. And welcome, by the way. Is there anyone else who would like to come up? Is there anyone online? All right, then. With that, we will go into our closing hymn, number 128, For All That Is Our Life, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to stand feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are bound to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Great job, everyone.
Let us continue to grow as citizens of our communities, our nation, and our world. Let us work to build the common good for ourselves and the generations to come. May it be so. Namaste, blessed be, and amen. Thank you, Myri, and all our participants for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you up here again. And as we incorporated our sharing comments, we often have a session where people come up to the microphone and share their comments afterwards. We've already incorporated that into our service today. And so now I welcome everyone to adjourn in the parish hall, where we are welcome to share food, coffee, and fellowship.